Hi, welcome to the preservation of Buddha Dhamma. I am Noel De Silva. This is the true meaning of Buddhism. I suppose you must be wondering why I am trying to explain a doctrine that has got so many explanations already. And why should there be another one? Haven't we got enough explanations? Under these circumstances, I should point out the reason why that is so. The fact of the matter is some basic concepts of Buddhism have been mistranslated and misinterpreted. Hence, we need to rectify the misconceptions for the good of all. The Buddha Dhamma has been taught over 2,500 years since Siddhartha Gautama became enlightened. That enlightenment was or still is called Buddhahood. And thereafter, Siddhartha Gautama became known as the Buddha, one with supreme awareness. 2,500 years is a long time for any teaching to survive amongst much oppression, many invasions and suppressions by various domineering groups. Not only that, numerous intellectuals began to translate Buddha Dhamma into Sanskrit and then subsequently, much later, to English. Starting from the early 1st century BC, we need to remember that Dhamma was explained by the Buddha in everyday language of Magadha, which was Pali. Even in Buddha's time, the Buddha admonished and warned against requests to translate Dhamma into Sanskrit by some Sanskrit proficient and well-known sanghas, Tepula and Yameru, asserting that the Pali words utilized to explain the deep concepts may lose their explanatory powers and hence cause misunderstanding in his teaching. By the way, I do not think that we do any justice to any word, especially a word with underlying concepts and deep cultural meanings of a language, by translating it into a different word of another language, let alone Pali words. Each Pali word is packed with many information, which has got deep-rooted underlying meanings and concepts. Nevertheless, they have been erroneously translated and subsequently used with misinterpretations. And in such case, only thing one can do is to correct those mistakes and let the people who want to learn Buddhism to easy comprehension. By following those accidental mistranslations and the later developed additional material, unfortunately, we have lost the proper and real meaning of some of the original Buddhist concepts that are so crucial to attaining Nibbana. Most importantly, our attention should be focused here on what a Buddha is and why the Buddha's teaching cannot be improved by adding more materials that does not belong to the Buddha. The Buddha, or the one who attained ultimate enlightenment by purifying the mind of all defilements, became all-knowing, or entirely aware of all and everything, hence the enlightened one. As a result, what the Buddha taught was the ultimate reality, which is all-encompassing, and therefore no improvement can be made to what absolutely final. The original Buddha Dhamma is written down in Pali as Thilakkana, and the later developed and composed additional materials after the Buddha's parinibbana are not included in Thilakkana. Amongst all these misconceptions and misunderstandings, I would like to make an attempt to clarify some of the misdoings. Considering such circumstances, I thought starting with Thilakkana would be most appropriate, as it explains the nature of existence. The word Thilakkana has got two parts, which are Thi, meaning three, number three, and Lakkana, meaning characteristics in Pali. Hence, three characteristics. These three characteristics are anicca, dukkha, anatta. It is important that we understand that anicca was erroneously translated to Sanskrit as anitya, which is a similar word but with a different meaning. Subsequently, it was translated to Sinhala and adopted by Sinhala people as the meaning for anicca, and to English as impermanence to date. As with other compound words, anicca again has two parts. They are an and nicca. Nicca means liking in Pali. An is the opposite. Therefore, anicca means not liking. In Buddhism, it means one cannot maintain anything to one's liking or one's satisfaction. It is pretty obvious that it has nothing to do with being impermanent, as in previous translations. Being permanent or not permanent are properties of external objects, and the object is an external substance and not internal or mental. Dukkha. Next word I'm trying to explain is dukkha. So if one cannot maintain anything to one's liking, one becomes depressed, dissatisfied, and distraught. When one experiences and suffers from these adverse emotions, depression, dissatisfactions, and distraught, that is dukkha, suffering. And dukkha occurs as an outcome of jati, which is birth, jara, which is aging, and marana, which is death. The Buddha Dhamma is a method of purifying the mind, as mind is cluttered and clouded with defilements. To remove these clutters and cloudiness, beginning with the 5 precepts will be ideal. If you want to go further, if you aspire to curtail dukkha and achieve a permanent sukha, happiness, niramisa sukha, lasting happiness, you need to study the path prescribed by the Buddha. Therefore, following Eightfold Path is exactly what the doctor ordered. Teruvan Saranai.